So I'm starting a camel. Looking for those plane changes. Drawing through the barrel of the belly. This is just the armature right now. Okay, gotta back out. Back. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is finish out this armature. Now that I've got, I'm sorry, I can't get it in the frame anymore. I've backed out about as far as I can. So I'm going to come over here and finish this out. And I haven't done the humps yet, but I'm laying in still some of the important armature to make sure it's in proportion. This is the time to fix it. If it's not in proportion, you have to come through and you have to make all your adjustments early on. So I'm getting the camel's hind legs and then going to drop in his feet here. I have to work around my camera, so it's a little awkward for me. Get some of those toes in the front here. They have really enormously large, flat feet for the desert. Just really big, floppy feet. Kind of remind you of Chewbacca. They have a split toe. It's not a hoof, it's a toe, and lots of hair. Okay, so now there are two types. There's the back-trained camel and the dromedary. One is the Asian, and the other is, they call it the Asiatic camel, but the other is more like the desert, Sahara Desert, or the Arabian type camel. Okay, I'm going to close in on the face for you. And now I've already started in a little bit on the subforms, but they have a lot of hair thickness around their neck. The back-trained camel has 2 humps, and the Arabian camel has 1 hump, or the dromedary. So this guy, he's going to be a single-humped camel, which I haven't even put the hump in, but I'm doing that now. The hump is really fat storage, and sometimes, depending on the diet and the how much food is available and water, will also depend on how much storage he's got, how big that hump is. So, okay, so there it is. And they have hair on their head. Lots of hair. Woolly. It's very woolly. They also have a callus pad located on their chest. Right here is going to be this big pancake-shaped callus pad. And they also have that same kind of callus pad on their legs. It's for when they lay down. It's over here, over the carpals. And one way down here. Sometimes you'll see some of them have a thick padding down here. Okay, now I'm going over to the hind legs. And they have a small abdomen, very thin waistline. There's the patella. Here's the muscles of the quadriceps and the bicep femoris, or it could be the gluteal bicep on some animals. Tarsus, calcaneus is behind there, metatarsus, and then it splits off to the two toes. These are not hooves, they're actually toenails. Okay, now we come off to the rear. Now you won't be able to find the rear, it's on the other side of that other hip there. So we know though that the tail does come down. And I'm offsetting it a little so it won't tangent the legs. Okay? And we can kind of feel, you know, some of them have this winter hair, and that wool will start to fall off in early spring. It's all the fuzz. You feel that abdomen as it comes around like that. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my wash, and this is the water pen, and I'm going to come through and help accentuate that form a little bit by using a little light and shadow play on this. So ideally you have the sun coming in on the favored side, the side that you're trying to show, and then the shadow side will be underneath and oftentimes onto the opposite side of the animal. And this way we can help punch out some of that form a bit more, which is what I'm doing here. I'm not worried about it. There we go. Not worried too much about it. Just understand that you're trying to show form and that this is the underside. And remember, where the scapula meets the humerus, there's a plane change here, and so this part will be shadowed down if it's away from the sun source or the light source. Okay? Usually the far leg away from you is, in the ideal setting, is more shadowed. Okay? Because it's also not, it's further away, and it's away from the sunny side in an ideal situation. See, now as that patella moves away from the underneath the animal, moves away, this is coming towards us, the upper leg, and then as it moves away from us, it's picking up shadow from underneath. So that's why it's good to know where your landmarks are, because that's where you know where your plane changes are often. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to push this back with a little bit of shadow across the form. If you ever run out of ink, you can always add ink with your pen and then wash over it. So we'll just do a little something like that, and that gives him a little substance on the ground there. Okay, and there's your camel. Come back in for his eye and his face. There we go. Underside of the ear. Even a shadow side underneath the eye, because this brow protrudes out. Okay, there you go. Now if you begin to, let's say you're doing your wash, and you begin to lose some of those wonderful characteristic lines that you made, you can always come back over with your pen and re-dab in there just a little bit. Try not to get carried away. Too many times students overdo it, and it's better that fewer lines is often better than a lot of congested, busy, what I call search and rescue lines. Search and rescue lines are where you continue to hit the paper and it's not right, and so you keep searching for that right line, but you keep hitting the paper while you're searching, and then what you have is a drawing that's way too messy and it can't be read. So you want to be able to get in and get out of there pretty quick.